Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about 5 tips, tricks, and things you might not have known about some of the vehicles that have been added within further adventures in Finance and Felony. That's right, so if you can learn just one new thing with this video, then I have certainly done my job. But as I mentioned earlier, we're going to be talking about 5 things regarding the Finance and Felony vehicles that I think are either cool tips or tricks or something that you might not have caught from playing around with some of the vehicles. So let's jump into the first thing, and I do apologize for this, the stream footage, but it was the only time that I got this to work. So this actually will allow you to get an undercover police vehicle in Grand Theft Auto Online. So what you need to do is look for one of the buy missions that will require you to get electronic goods. At least in my case, it was electronic goods. And then it should take you somewhere near Martin Madrazo's house, kind of on the eastern side of the map. So you can see I'm driving here right now. And when you get there, you'll actually be ambushed by undercover police officers. So as soon as you get to the locations to grab the electronic goods or the cargo, whatever it is, you'll get a 3-star wanted level. The cops will swarm you. There'll be in FIB cars, and there'll also be in unmarked police vehicles. And what you can actually do is then use that unmarked police vehicle for whatever you want. Now, sadly, the only thing that does stink about this is that you cannot take the vehicle into your garage and store it. However, you can use it after the buy mission has been completed. So I think 2 or 3 of these undercover cars spawn each mission that this is done. So if you just want one friend who grabs the car and takes it to a safe place, you can use this to show off to your friends, take some really cool snapmatics, obviously just drive around in public lobbies in an undercover cop car. That could be pretty cool, and it could obviously be pretty great for role-playing opportunities also. So like I said, this is really neat. I think there was a red one, a blue one, and then a black one that was in my lobby. I just went for the red one because it was the closest, and this wasn't even something I was going for. It just caught my eye. I was like, whoa, is this an undercover cop car? And if you watch the stream footage, you can see my reaction. I'm like, dang, this is so cool. Undercover cop car. There's no way to get these in Grand Theft Auto Online other than this method. Unfortunately, we're not able to store them, but as far as getting them in public sessions, this is the best way to go about doing it. Okay, up next, I'm going to be talking about the XLS SUV. So I've covered videos on the fastest vehicles or the best vehicles of some of the more, I guess, popular cars, the sports cars, the supercars, but one that was kind of forgotten was the XLS. It's an armored or a non-armored variant of an SUV that actually has some very interesting statistics about it. So one thing you might want to know is that the armored version is faster than the non-armored version, and the armored version is the fastest SUV in the game. That's right, so I'm actually going to be doing just a simple drag test right here, and you can see the comparison between the armored version of the XLS and the non-armored version of the XLS. I think my armored version got a time of 25.76, and my non-armored one got a time of 26.79. So a huge difference there, over a 1 second difference. And I've touched on in previous videos, anytime you get close to that 1 second different mark, you really are going to start seeing some crazy drastic differences in speed. So I know that the armored version is more expensive, and that might be the only thing that deters you from buying it, but it's got every single benefit over the non-armored version. It's faster, it has slight bulletproof protection, and it's also got explosive protection as well. So you're getting 3-in-1, all better than the non-armored version. Typically, the non-armored version might be a little bit faster to counter out the fact that it's not armored, but in this case, buying the regular version of the XLS is not worth it at all. And buying the armored version is, because it's not only the faster of the two, it's the fastest SUV with all the armored features that we already see on the vehicle. So that's extremely nifty. Number 3, did you know that you can actually capsize the tugboat? So I'm not even joking. You can completely flip over the tugboat. I didn't even know this was something that could be done. And apparently, and I didn't even know this when I was doing this on my stream, it's done by dropping a submarine on it. So yesterday on my live stream, we were having some fun with the tugboat in public lobbies. We were trying to see how many we could get on the tugboat, how many vehicles. We got like a T-20, a Panto, and then someone had the great idea of trying to drop one of the submarines, I think the Kraken, on the back of the tugboat. And when it got on there, it's like it almost started to sink the vessel. So that's actually pretty cool. And that might be a challenge for some of you guys to work on. Can you actually flip over the tugboat? Can a boat of that size be flipped over? Well, yes, it actually turns out that it can. This is an image that I saw on the GTA 5 Reddit, and it is definitely flipped over, as you can see. So I might try to do this later on in a live stream because this obviously sounds extremely cool trying to do something like this. But in case you were wondering for whatever reason, yes, the tugboat can be flipped and it can be capsized over. Okay, at the number 4 spot, what I want to do is talk about the best options for CEO vehicles. So you guys know when you become a CEO, you have the option to spawn vehicles within your CEO radius. There's 12 vehicles. Some of them are free, some of them cost $5,000, some of them cost $7,000. So I want to talk about those right now. What are the best options? So as far as air vehicles go, you pretty much have two choices. You've got the Buzzard and the Volatus. They're both free, so price does not matter. And in every situation, I'd likely recommend the Buzzard. It can seat a similar amount of people as the Volatus, so you're not missing out on really anything there. And the Buzzard is obviously armored. It's militarized. It has the ability to shoot machine guns and missiles as well. So as far as CEO work goes, again, this probably is pretty obvious, but the Buzzard is definitely the way to go when choosing between that and the Volatus. If you're in a situation where water is involved, you've really only got one option. That's the dinghy, and unfortunately, it's $5,000. It's also the only boat on this list, so that's the one you're pretty much stuck with if you need something for water. And then we've got all the vehicles. Now, there's a few options here because there are non-armored versions of cars, armored versions of cars, and then versions of cars that cost money. So you can see the Baller LWB is $5,000. There's other versions of cars that also cost more, like the Rumpo Custom is $7,000 to have it delivered. The Shafter LWB is also $5,000. Then there's some free versions of armored cars as well. So I would recommend that if you need a armored vehicle and you want one that's free, you go with the turreted limo. That's obviously going to be your best bet. It's also militarized to an extent. It's going to give you that armor protection, and it's free. There's other armored vehicles on here, but they cost money, like the Baller. The one of them that happens to be free is the Cognoscenti. Unfortunately, which I think this is really dumb, the version of the XLS they give you is not armored. Even though it's free, they give you a regular version of an XLS. Like, Rockstar, come on, man. We want the armored version of the XLS. So I definitely never recommend you choose the XLS or the BJ XL. It's not armored. That's not going to help you out at all. There are so many other vehicles you can choose from. So basically, there are 10 pretty good options. Ignore the XLS and the BJ. And as far as land vehicles go, turreted limo is your best option, Buzzard for the air, and then dinghy, I guess, because you have no choice, for the water. All right, and finally, last but not least, at the number 5 spot, I thought this was kind of interesting regarding the X80 Proto. You actually can't pick up prostitutes in this car. That's right. I don't know if it's too futuristic or too space techy, but the prostitutes or the ladies of the night are not interested in you if you drive this $2.7 million supercar. That's right. Money literally can't get you everything in life, and this is just another example of that right here. I'm not sure why. I looked even inside of the car. It doesn't look like it has too little room. Obviously, you can get another passenger in there, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on with the mechanics there, why the strippers or the prostitutes can't get inside, but apparently they're not interested in $2.7 million supercars. But anyways, that's all the information I have for you guys in this video today regarding some tips, tricks, and possible things you might not have known about some of the further adventures in finance and felony DLC vehicles. If you did go on to enjoy this video, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. Without the way, guys, like I said, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.